Hello everyone, thank you for coming back with us on the K-Pop Facts channel. Today, May 28, 2025, the atmosphere at the military camp where BTS Jimin is serving his military service feels different from usual. The calm afternoon sky and cool spring breeze seem to welcome a special moment. Only 14 days left before Korea's proud idol officially completes his national service. Jimin has been wearing a military uniform for almost 2 years, replacing concert stages and spotlights with simple barracks and disciplined routines. However, instead of complaining, he lives it wholeheartedly, becoming an example for his juniors and colleagues. Today, as usual, Jimin finished training his juniors with an inspiring spirit. However, something was different today. After intense physical training and mental training, the commander, who was secretly amazed by Jimin's figure, nodded to him with a big smile. In his typical style, Jimin immediately gave a surprise. "Let's go to karaoke tonight, everyone must join." Cheers erupted among the young soldiers. Many of them had just finished basic training, and for them, the invitation felt like a huge gift. Karaoke in a military barracks was not a common occurrence, but Jimin, with his unfading charm, managed to turn the atmosphere into a small party full of laughter. In a simple hall usually used for meetings and briefings, the soldiers began to gather. Small speakers were set up, and an old microphone that was usually used for briefings was now ready to be a stress reliever. Jimin stood in front, opening the night with a spirited song, the military version of Dynamite. Everyone laughed, sang along, and clapped. Song after song echoed, from classic Korean ballads to energetic pop songs that are usually sung during training. Jimin was also not shy about singing songs from his fellow BTS members, adding to the excitement. "This isn't just karaoke," said one of his juniors. "This is a night we'll remember for the rest of our lives, a night where Jimin's sunbae made us feel like family." The atmosphere became very warm, far from the impression of stiffness and discipline typical of the military. After singing, they took a group photo. A simple camera was used to capture tired but sincere smiles. Jimin stood in the middle, hugging his comrades on the left and right, his eyes shining with emotion. "You are all amazing," he said, softly but meaningfully. Before he knew it, the night was getting late. They sat in a circle, sharing stories, reminiscing about the hard and funny moments during their time in camp. Jimin listened intently, laughed out loud, then spoke. "Our time here may have been short, but our bond is eternal." A young soldier asked, "Senior, what do you miss most from outside?" Jimin smiled, then answered, "The stage. But nights like this will always have a special place in my heart." Suddenly, someone played the song, "Spring Day." The song played softly, and everyone was silent. Some of them were silent, some looked down with teary eyes. The song felt so fitting, about time, separation, and the hope of meeting again. Jimin stood up, then invited everyone to sing the song together. Their voices united, although not perfectly, but full of feeling. It wasn't just a song, it was a silent prayer from the hearts of the young soldiers who were strengthening each other. After the last song ended, Jimin looked towards the wall of the hall. There was a whiteboard full of motivational scribbles and messages from the soldiers. He took a marker and wrote one sentence, "Thank you for being a part of my journey." As the lights in the hall began to dim, Jimin stood in front of them once again. In a low voice, he said, 14 more days, I will be out of here. But I will never forget this night, and all of you." That night became a sign that not only Jimin would bring home memories, but all of his comrades and juniors would always remember how humble and warm a great idol was, who in their eyes was just a brother and best friend. The next day, the story about that night's karaoke spread quickly throughout the camp. Many wrote about it in their diaries, some also uploaded photos of them together in private groups, with captions like, "The best night of my military service." Even some of the senior coaches, who are usually strict, praised Jimin's initiative. "He's not just an idol, he's a natural leader," one said. "He knows how to make everyone feel appreciated." The days that followed were lighter, as everyone knew Jimin's time at the camp would soon be over. But his spirit and influence would remain. He had left a mark that would not be easily erased. Since that karaoke night, the atmosphere in the barracks has changed. Every morning feels more cheerful, as if Jimin's enthusiasm has spread to every corner of the camp. The young soldiers have become more united, encouraging each other, and even starting to imitate Jimin's training style, disciplined but still full of laughter. Jimin did not remain silent. Approaching his final days, he took the time to teach some basic things to his juniors who had just entered. He gave tips on fitness, maintaining mental health during training, and how to adapt quickly to the military environment. This mandatory military service is not a punishment, it's a lesson, he told them. One of the most touching moments occurred when several young soldiers secretly prepared a small surprise for Jimin. They made a handmade sign that said, "Thank you Jimin Sunbae, for making my 2 years here feel lighter." When Jimin saw it, he was silent for a long time, then hugged them one by one. On the 13th day before his discharge, Jimin had time to write a small letter that he stuck on the notice board. The contents were simple, but full of meaning. He wrote, "I came here as BTS's Jimin, but I'm leaving as your brother." The letter immediately became a hot topic throughout the barracks. The following nights were filled with casual chats. Jimin often became the shoulder his friends would confide in, about their dreams, love, and even the hardships of life. He listened without judgment, and gave advice in his gentle way. "Sometimes, all you need is someone who will listen," he said. Some soldiers even said that Jimin's presence was like a breath of fresh air in the usually rigid military world. He changed the way many people viewed military service. He showed that an idol could go through the same tough life, and actually grow from it. On the 10th day before his return, the camp commander called Jimin in private. In that brief but warm meeting, the commander said, "I've trained many people. But you, Jimin, are different. You left an impact that will never disappear from this place." Jimin replied with a respectful smile. "I learned a lot here, sir. About life, about responsibility, and about the meaning of togetherness. I am grateful to have been able to go through all of this with you." They agreed to hold a small ceremony as a symbolic send-off. Not a formal military ceremony, but rather an appreciation night. A place where the soldiers could express their gratitude to Jimin. And of course, Jimin promised to perform one last song before he officially left. Now, there are only 4 days left until the day of his return arrives. But the memories that have been created are far greater than the time left. In the hearts of the soldiers, Jimin is no longer just an artist they see on TV, he is part of them. And for Jimin himself, this camp is more than just a place for military service. This is his second home.